right, so what do you got?
So this is a 1976 912E that is, but I grew up thinking it was like the fastest supercar ever made, but it's potentially the slowest Porsche ever built.
At the time it seemed fast, right?
The 914 1.6, maybe. Now, is this a 2-liter?
Yeah, my dad bought this car in '76 in Monterey, new, and so I grew up with this in the garage. And pining over it, you know, when I was,
sure.
This is where I kind of had my first car moment. You know, you can have your first like girl moment, but this was my first car moment. I was about 5, and we're going from Colorado Boulevard to Hamden Avenue in Denver, and it's like a second gear sweeper, and he goes around the turn, and tires kind of squeal. And it was the first time I'd ever seen him take a turn like in anger, and I thought something was breaking, or I didn't know what was going on, and he told me, oh, the tires must be low. And I've paid attention to every single shift and turn since that point in my life, and that's probably the moment that I got into cars. And
now
this
is it. This is the car that did it.
This is probably the last year before they went to the SC. Was it 87? I mean, 70, 77, maybe 78, 77, 78 probably when they went to the SC. This looks just like the 911S with the 6. I don't believe there are any body panels, any other than the badging in the 912 versus 911. I don't see any difference. Is there any difference?
No, I mean so the last 912 was 1968, and then just for the American market, they made 2,000 of these. And you know, it was geared a little bit lower for a lower speed limit and more fuel efficient. And but it shares everything else with the 911S of that year.
In its own funky way, might it one day, and that day may be upon us, I don't know, maybe be more valuable than the 911 just because of the lower production numbers?
Maybe. It probably, you know, it sort of didn't work because Americans wanted horsepower. And, but it's I could see that. It's just that I mean, it's one of the few, I guess, limited edition with the intention of being a limited edition.
And did your dad buy it new?
Yeah, he bought it new.
And so how many miles are on it now?
It's 120,000.
In a way it's a lot, and in a way it's not for how long he's had the car. And I remember us talking about this car about 5-6 years ago when we were driving back from like San Diego or something. Tanner was going on it in a very loving fashion, but you know, I can only hear a guy talk about a 912 for so long.
What are you talking about? It's like an hour and a half drive.
I was like, let's get back to the Mura conversation we were having. He's like, hey, that 912.
It's not bad.
But I gotta say, when I look at it, I like it, and I did not know at the time we were having this conversation. I figured a 912 was worth about $4,200, and that was in A condition. Like, the market has jumped up; it's gone completely insane. So, a pretty nice item to keep in the family.
Over the years, you've just, you know, just fixed the things that needed to be fixed and kept it on the road.
Yeah, it's all very, very original. I mean, I've spent many hours tucked in the back seat there with ski gear. We took it skiing. You know, it had the ski rack down the back. This dent is from when the shelves fell over in the garage. There's a scratch in the back when I pushed a sailboat into it. The wheels are all gacked up because I tried to use a Brillo pad on when I was like 11. Yeah, it's pretty cool to drive. I mean, it's good on the highway. It sits at speed. It just doesn't get to speed very fast. It's got like the original Blaupunk, and my dad was a doctor, and so it's got this little recording device so that you could sit there and make, you know, your medical notes.
Wow.
And it would record it to
in the
tape.
Blaupunk.
In the in the little cassette tape.
Wow.
It just got a hole in the exhaust, I think, because I was speeding on the way over here, so it sounds a little bit weird. I should start it up.
You know, it felt like you were speeding, but really you were just going the right limit.
Exactly, that's probably more right. This poor old thing.
Yeah, it is so. It's such a time capsule, and it's the kind of thing where nowadays there's just a great demand for these things that are, you know, unmolested, you know, you didn't get the repop on the paint job. You're not explaining what the original color was or what the original interior was, or any of that stuff, which is just super cool.
The original interior was sheepskin.
Yeah, the sheepskin is something that I don't understand. It was my dad had it, and I just sort of left it in there.
For you personally, if you want people to look you up,
yeah, we do. I mean, I'm on you know, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. It's all just Tanner Foust.
And of course, Top Gear, American Top Gear, History Channel. Give my love to Rutledge.
I will. I'm sure he's going to look forward to battling it out. Are you doing next year, celebrity race?
Well, if there is a celebrity race,
they did it. They did it last year. He ran. I mean, the last one, not last year. This year, but the last event. And he ran in the pro division.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
They did it, and he didn't win. Although somebody told me one, which pissed me off. But he did. Sad to say, but no, I won the race, and then I won the pro division, but the pro division didn't have you and Steve Millen in it. You know?
He did come to me, and the year that he won.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who was in there? And he's like, well, you know, there's like, I don't know, and you know, some
like
guy like an Arab skateboarder or something, and they put in the pro division, and yeah, I pulled a tough card on that one. It's a great race, but going up against Steve Millen. And Jimmy Vassar was our year.
Yeah,
Jimmy Vassar. Well, listen,
he was just cooking out there, wasn't he?
Any time you go up against the pro who won that race in the real IndyCar on the same track, that's not a good draw for you, because he did it in the real car, on the real race. This probably is something that this particular track, he probably got a few more laps in. And if he was able to beat everyone in Indy, he's probably fairly competitive.
Yeah,
he's probably a decent driver, at least on this track.
Yes.
Rutledge did great. He did great.
He did good. And you are one of the few probably that went on to keep racing stuff, right?
Yeah,
you've been racing ever since.
I like the vintage stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so American Top Gear, History Channel, TannerFoust.com. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Matt, the Motorator, DeAndrea, and Tanner Foust saying, keep the air in the spare and the bag in the wheel.